Have you ever wondered why a wild animal, one that has spent its entire life avoiding humans, would suddenly approach a person instead of running away? Imagine you're walking through a quiet forest when a fox appears in front of you. It doesn't attack. It doesn't flee. Instead, it stares into your eyes, then turns around and looks back at you as if it's asking you to follow. It sounds almost unbelievable, yet stories like these have been reported all over the world. Injured elephants have approached people, trapped sea turtles have remained calm while divers freed them, and dolphins have been seen guiding exhausted swimmers. So why would an animal choose to trust the very species it has always feared? The answer lies in a fascinating piece of psychology. Picture yourself on that lonely trail. Every instinct tells you that wild animals should keep their distance, yet this one refuses to disappear. It keeps glancing at you, then towards something hidden in the trees. Most of us would assume it's just a coincidence. But sometimes, an animal isn't acting out of curiosity. It's acting because it has reached a point where survival matters more than fear. When every other option has failed, even the strongest instincts can begin to change. Many people believe animals operate purely on instinct, but instinct is far more flexible than we often imagine. Every day, wild animals constantly make decisions by weighing danger against opportunity. Under normal circumstances, humans represent the greatest threat, so staying hidden is the safest choice. However, when an elephant is caught in a painful snare, a whale is tangled in heavy fishing ropes, or a mother animal cannot free her trapped baby, the situation changes completely. The brain begins making a different calculation. Instead of asking, "How do I avoid humans?" it starts asking, "Who gives me the best chance to survive?" In those rare moments, approaching a human can become the safest option available. What makes these stories so emotional is that they reflect something deeply familiar to us. Humans also behave differently when life becomes overwhelming. Pride fades away, fear becomes smaller than hope, and we find ourselves reaching out for help from people we never expected to trust. Animals don't think exactly like humans do, but the emotional pattern is surprisingly similar. Extreme circumstances can reshape behavior. Survival has a way of changing decisions that once seemed impossible. Perhaps that's why these encounters touch us so deeply. For a brief moment, the invisible wall separating humans and wild animals feels much smaller, because both are driven by the same desire, to survive. Real-life examples make this even more remarkable. Wildlife rescuers have documented elephants seeking help after severe injuries caused by wire snares. Divers have freed sea turtles that remained surprisingly calm while ropes were carefully removed from their flippers. Marine researchers have also recorded dolphins supporting injured or exhausted swimmers near the surface until they reach safety. Of course, not every story shared online is true, and some become exaggerated over time. But the overall pattern is real. When survival outweighs fear, animals can display behaviors that seem almost impossible to us. The biggest surprise is that these moments don't prove humans have somehow tamed nature. Instead, they reveal something far more meaningful. Trust doesn't always require years to develop. Sometimes it exists for only a few seconds, just long enough to save a life. In those brief moments, fear steps aside, and survival creates a connection that neither side expected. Maybe that's the real lesson behind these incredible stories. They aren't only about wild animals asking humans for help. They're about the extraordinary power of hope. Whether you're a person or a creature living in the wild, there are moments when trusting someone else becomes the bravest decision you can make. And perhaps that's one of the most beautiful reminders that, despite all our differences, the instinct to survive can bring two completely different worlds together.